Hi everyone, welcome to a brand new video in a brand new series, Python for Beginners. This is actually the first video in this series, and if you are already a Python developer or you are very comfortable with the very basics of Python, you can feel free to skip this video. Now, a lot of people wants to become software developers, but only a handful of people actually end up scaling through. And one of the things I observe is simply because a lot of beginners wants to see something like this. Something with graphical user interface, something they can click, maybe add a photo and then type a name, select like a gender and then create a profile. Something they could like look at the profile and something graphical user interface. But most, if not all of the beginner programming classes usually start with things like this. Something with the console, and a lot of people find it difficult to create a mental visualization of exactly what's happening here. And especially when they encounter something like this, an error like this. Now it becomes very ugly and annoying, and this is where a lot of people get discouraged and then exit the classes. So I'm not going to sugarcoat anything for you. If you don't know anything like this, then you are still far away from knowing something like this. So in this series is going to be basically console applications. Is going to be the very basics of Python programming. We are going to try as much as possible to create a mental visualization that is going to help you scale through. So back to the business of the day. Now, we are going to be having an overview of what we should be expecting in this series. Now, in this series, I intend to get you equipped with some of the things that you are going to need to get started as a Python developer. Now, first of all, we are going to be looking at the Python interpreter, what it is, how it works. Then we'll proceed to look at some of the very basic syntax of Python. Then we'll look at objects in Python. What are objects in Python and how do they work? And we'll look at things like identifiers and objects, then how to create and use objects, and then we'll look at built-in classes. Now, don't worry if you don't understand most of these things, because by the time we begin to discuss them one by one, we are going to break it down for you. So we are going to look at expressions, operators, and operator precedence. Then we'll proceed to look at control flow. What are control flow? Things like conditional statements, and then iteration loops in bracket. Then we'll look at functions. What are functions? The very basic of functions. We're going to look at built-in functions. This is very important in Python. Then we are going to look at how exception handling works. We are going to look at how to raise exception and to catch an exception. As I told you, don't worry about it. We are going to break it down what all of these are. And then we are going to look at iterators and generators. Now, these are the things we will be looking at in this series. And I hope you people are going to stay tuned and watch. So if you have not subscribed, don't forget to do so. And we are going to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.